hear me?
Yes.
Can you all see me?
Yes.
I hope so. All right. Hey, look at that. Electricity. By me, Jake Shelby. How you guys doing?
Good.
Oh, good. I promise this won't be too terribly difficult to understand. And if it is, well, get over it. That's life. All right, so every good sermon starts out with a guiding verse. So here this one is. It's a little bit abridged. Sorry, Jesus. Matthew 5:13-16. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? You are the light of the world. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Pretty awesome words by a really awesome dude, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so now let's get down to the business. Who likes electricity? Raise your hand. Why do you like electricity, Alpha? It's powerful. Oh, that's a key word right there. Power. I like it. We'll get there later. So let's nerd out for a second. Fundamentals of electricity. There are three things that make up electricity. You've got voltage. You've got amps, or we call it I in this equation. You've also got ohms, which is resistance. For the purpose of this talk, we're going to call volts, or voltage, people and purpose. We're going to call amps, or current, movement, or speed. And we're going to call resistance, or ohms, trials. That little graphic there, there's many different ways to explain this, but that's probably the best way, graphical representation, anybody's ever come up with to get a grip on how electricity works. It actually flows just like water in a lot of ways. So, there's that. So let's do some math real quick, just to kind of get you through some examples as to why these laws, or Ohm's law, works. I don't know if you guys have probably been to school a couple times before, and you've probably seen plenty of electrical laws or complicated theories out there. A bunch of old dead guys made them up. His name was George Ohm, or something like that. So why does this work? So we love our guiding Ohm's law. Volts equals I times R, or volt equals current times resistance. So I've got a 12-volt battery here, the common one you find in your lawnmowers or your cars. And let's say I don't know my current, my I, but I have a 2 ohm load, I don't know, like a light bulb or something. Some light bulbs are 2 ohms, some are millions of ohms. So do some math, 12 divided by 2 ohms, that gets 6 amps. It's a pretty healthy amperage. Okay, great. So let's give you some more perspective. Volts, what if I don't know my volts, but I need to design a circuit that still needs to carry 6 amps of current? But I have a load, or a resistance of 200 ohms. Well, if I still want to carry 6 amps and through a 200 ohm load, I need about 100 times more voltage, 1200 volts. So, as resistance increases, the voltage must increase in order to overcome the resistance, lest the current decreases. The math works out. And then I don't know if you guys can see this below here, but this is where you really tie it into your life. As life gets tougher, or as our trials increase in magnitude, our purpose, or the people in our life, must rise up in order to overcome those trials, lest our speed or our productivity decreases as well. Right? All right, so let's make a really not so smooth transition into why I've got these weird objects in the table, a battery, and then also a homemade battery called a galvanic cell I'll talk about later. This is the basic structure of a battery. You've got 2 dissimilar metals immersed in a fluid that has an electrolytic chemical inside it. Electrolytes help electrons move freely from either piece of metal. And of course, up there you've got a little light bulb as the load. All right. Clear as mud? All right, sweet. Good, good. That's a picture of this little galvanic cell that I made that has been uncharged. So as you see right there, it's in a glass jar. It's got some copper piping on one side and 2 zinc-coated bolts on the other side. And it's immersed in a fluid of water and Epsom salt. Where is... Oh, did I pass it? Hopefully not. I did. Hopefully it didn't just zoom past my video. That would be awesome. I did. Can you go to that video? Whoops. Thank you. Sweet. So this is a video of me using this 12-volt battery to charge my galvanic cell. So what's happening here is I'm taking copper electrons off the copper rods and I'm depositing them onto the zinc-covered bolts. And I'm basically storing a charge, roughly about 1 volt, onto the zinc side of this battery. So you can stop the video now. It's probably really long, but here's the next one. So this is a picture that it's in its fully charged state. I think I might be missing some slides. That kind of sucks. Okay, so this is a multimeter reading I took with this multimeter. It measures all kinds of things: volts, resistance, amps. But I've got about 1.068 volts. When I first started, when it was uncharged, I had about 0.7 volts in there. So this big battery actually gave it a little bit of charge. It's probably uncharged right now and it needs a little love. So, cool. So why does this matter to you? Again, our guiding verse by the great JC. You're the salt of the earth, right? And we're the light of the world. Cool. So if you haven't gotten the picture yet, you've got to, here's some actual store-bought batteries that actually work well. And I'm going to show you just a little bit of the light of the world real quick. Hopefully I don't short it out. That would suck too. So there's the light of the world, right? So what's happening inside this battery is that salt, that electrolyte solution, is actually helping move that voltage and getting deposited on the load. So just like you and me, we're all batteries, pretty much, for God. And as the load increases, if this is a really big incandescent bulb, or whether it's an LED bulb, sometimes you might need a lot of people around you to get you through life struggles. Sometimes you might need a little. Maybe it's just a simple problem you can take care of yourself. Either way, there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of help from your friends to get through life. And without further ado, that's it.